So we are here in South Daytona. We're going to look at some real estate. We're going to look at some things to do, activity-wise. We're going to look at some of the parks here, such as Reed Canal. Look at one of my personal favorite restaurants, and you never know what else might be sprinkled in there. That all happens right now. Hey, this is Todd with Living in Daytona Beach. If this is the first time to the channel, go ahead, hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss a thing about living in Daytona Beach or living in Florida. And if you're moving in 9 days to 9 months, 3 days to 3 months, give us a call, text, email, or set up a Zoom video call because we want to make your move memorable. Well, South Daytona has its own little treasures here. So I'm down here at Reed Canal Park. It's one of my personal favorites just because there's so much to do right here at this park. There are full-size soccer fields. There is a disc golf course. There is a catch and release pond right behind me here. There's biking trails, walking trails. There are charging stations, solar charging stations for your electronics. What else am I missing here? Like I said, walking trails. There's a wonderful dog park right here within the park itself. So your furry, four-footed friend can go ahead and get some exercise themselves. It's actually backed up to one of a beautiful neighborhood as well. You kind of see me behind me right here. Neighborhood backs up right against it. So if you're lucky enough to live over here right next to Reed Canal Park, you have a great spot to walk around. We are in South Daytona today. We're coming up on our first house today. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, about 1,740 square feet, built in 1962. It comes in at $254,000. It's about 146 per square foot. I feel like it's block construction. Most of these homes are block construction through here, built in the 60s, so they're really nice and solid. Good bones, as we like to say in Daytona. And we are just down the road from Reed Canal Park. This is one of those nice neighborhoods because there's no HOA right through here. You can see kind of almost in the backyard there's some established pine trees. Just looks like they might have been growing since the 60s. So it's a very nice area, very quiet. And again, this is our first house on the list, $254,000. It's 1,740 square feet. It's about 146 per square foot at 254,000. 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, block construction, right here in South Daytona. We're down here at our second house on the list. Comes in at $384,000. It is a beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. It's got an in-law suite and got some additional room in the back right here. It's about 2,274 square feet. Built block construction, built in 1957. A lot of these homes that you'll see in the neighborhood built in the 50s. Strong bones, as we say here in Daytona. So this one again, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,274 square feet, 384,000, right there built in 1957, South Daytona. Now, one thing unique about this area here, no HOA, so you're not dealing with any HOA. Has some very good established trees. Now, there is one factor in this neighborhood to be aware of, is that it is close to the railroad tracks. The railroad tracks about 80 yards away from this house. Not a big issue. In Daytona, don't get a lot of rail traffic through here, so you wouldn't even know that. I've lived in Daytona for about 4 years. Used to live a quarter mile from the railroad tracks. Don't even hear anything. You might get one train one time a day. Coming up on our third house on the list. It's over here. It's actually on the Halifax River. So it's $950,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. 2064 for square footage. 2,064 for square footage, built in 1964. It has a boathouse and it has a boat dock. So it's got your river access, river view. $950,000. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but South Daytona actually doesn't border any part of the ocean. It borders the Halifax River, which is right here. The Halifax divides South Daytona from beachside over here. So we're coming up again, $950,000 for this beautiful home. 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. It's 2,064 square feet, built 19, flip that around. 2,065 square feet, built in 1964, right on the Halifax River, right here in South Daytona. I come down to South Daytona, when I make my way down here, which is quite often, I stop at Cafe con Leche for some Cuban coffee and Cuban sandwich, and they got the best tres leche cake. I get the chocolate tres leche cake. But if you are down in South Daytona and you live in South Daytona, this is a place to stop right here. Now I want to actually kind of do a little footnote about what the traffic is like. So I'm down here, we are like right against the Halifax River right down there. You can see there's some new construction actually going on down here, but we're going to take a look at Ridgewood Avenue out here, right in front of Cafe con Leche. What's traffic like? Well, I'm going to show you right here. Ridgewood runs north and south. So this is your kind of your main roadway through South Daytona, right along the river area, Riverway. So if you are making your way to north or south, making your way down south towards Port Orange, making your way up north towards Daytona. Daytona is only 3 miles away from South Daytona. So this is South Daytona is a suburb of Daytona Beach. But you've got to make it down to Cafe con Leche. It is a family-owned business, small business, just great. And again, they make the best Cuban coffee, Cuban sandwiches. And of course, it's always good to know exactly what there is to do in your neighborhood. So right down here in South Daytona, there actually is a skating rink, professional skating rink. So they have open sessions. They have actually hockey games down here. It's a great place to cool off, especially in the summertime. It's a great place to come down and skate for an hour, half hour, whatever you want to do. Also, behind me here, back alley lanes and VR arcade. Great location. I've come here with my family multiple times. Smaller bowling alley. It actually has like 8 lanes total. Great little spot. You can get food, play video games. They got the VR video game arena in there. And so 2 great spots right next to each other right here in South Daytona. I think it's always important to find out exactly what kind of activities you have right in your backyard. And these 2 businesses are right in your backyard.